Round 10 action in the VFL. We journeyed to Kramer Street in Preston for the clash between the Northern Blues and Frankston. Reece, I think we probably expected that the Northern Blues would prove a bit too classy, and that was the way it turned out. Disappointing effort from Frankston in lots of ways.
Yeah, it certainly was, especially early in the game where you really got to come out and hunt the ball and hunt the players, and they're pretty insipid in the first term, and the Northern Blues were able to just get on a roll, and they probably should have been a lot more up. They had all the play in the first quarter. We see a great kick in here, and this was the real difference between the two teams, the kicking ability of both sides. And I suppose when you got one team, the Northern Blues, who've got 14 players playing who've played AFL football, it makes a big difference. They've got some pretty highly skilled players.
That was the only goal for the Dolphins from Sam Lloyd at the 26-minute mark after the Blues had been able to kick the first 5. So they led by 28 points, but then there was a change came over the game, and mainly it was to do with this man, Khan Haratuku.
Yeah. I think he kicked 4 goals in that second quarter and really lifted his team, and it wasn't to be enough. I mean, one person can't do it alone, and we just hear a lot of easy goals. That was once again the kicking highlights of the Northern Blues players. Their kicking was a lot more precise than what the Frankston players were able to provide.
Dolphins actually kicked 4 of the first 5 goals of the quarter, but then they just developed into a bit of a lapse. There's Haratuku's 4th goal for the term, but prior to that, the Blues had kicked 4 goals in a 9-minute space, and they just completely re-established that hold they had over the game once more.
Yeah, they did, and then after half time, it really became to be perfectly honest, a pretty ordinary game of football, and the Northern Blues just did what they had to do after that, and Frankston just weren't good enough.
Yeah, they were going through the motions a bit. It was 4 goals to 2 in the third quarter. So after leading by 28 at quarter time, 36 at the half, all they were able to do was stretch that out by 11 points in the third quarter. And as you said, I think both teams going through the motions. That was probably just about goal of the day from Michael Lowry. Outstanding.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. He didn't have much of the ball at all, and got the 1 goal, and it was Haratuku who was the player who was able to hit the scoreboard the most with 6, so he had a reasonable game.
And then in the final term, Simon Goosey implored his players to just win the quarter. Nicely done by Sean Hampson there, showing some roving skills to kick the last goal of the game.
Yeah,
and he was good too.
He was, and that's where it all started. Warnock and Hampson in the ruck, that's where they got the ball started, right from the first bounce.
So they had a fair bit more of the football. It was 14-4 the inside 50s at quarter time, and it continued along that way. And the Northern Blues running out comfortable victors. The final score in their round 10 match at Kramer Street, 19-15, 129 to Frankston, 11-7, 73. So the Dolphins stuck on just 2 wins for the season, and the Blues with a big 3 weeks in front of them, coming up with the victory in round 10 on Grandstand.